If you have been paying attention to the absolutely horrific conditions in immigration detention facilities throughout the country over the past few years, there's been a lot of good reporting about it. Some actions by lawmakers to strike back against it. Well, we have a little bit of good news for you. At least a bit. DHS said in a statement that Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas directed US ICE to discontinue the use of the C. Carlos Carrero Immigration Detention Center at the Bristol County Jail in North Dartmouth, Massachusetts, and to prepare to discontinue the use of the Irwin County Detention Center in Ocilla, Georgia. So those are both facilities that we have talked about on the show previously. Irwin at length, and we will give you details about those. But the acting ICE director said that we will not tolerate the mistreatment of individuals in civil immigration detention or substandard conditions of detention, which is a good thing to say. It remains to be seen if that's a general principle or if after years of activism, they will shut down two of the facilities that personally drove the most negative attention. Is this going to be applied to all facilities? That remains to be seen. We have more, but Viviana, they are closing down these facilities. That seems good.
To answer your question, no, it's not going to be applied to other facilities. I wish I could be excited and think that. But here's my reaction. Wow, what a step. What a move. You closed down a torture center. Wow, why would you do that? They were torturing people and ripping out their uteruses.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is something you needed to do. We need to move towards abolishing any for-profit prisons. It's happening here in California. It needs to happen nationally. It is obviously something that is going rampant, this kind of abuse. They don't have any control over it. These people don't feel like they have any rights. Very brave people to speak out against these facilities, to come forward. These are undocumented people who just put everything on the line to really make sure for others. They did it for others, and that's what gives me chills about this. But honestly, I feel like Mayorkas is just skimming the surface here to placate, the people who are against human rights violations. And honestly, there's been a lot of placating and pandering. That's how I feel about Biden even appointing Mayorkas, because he was a Cuban American, like he's Latino, when he's really of Turkish and Polish ancestry, and he only came to Cuba after the Holocaust, which I'm glad his family fled. After the Holocaust, they were a wealthy family that owned some sort of factory there, and then they fled to the United States. So don't tell me that he has the Afro-Cuban experience and he understands really what these immigrants are dealing with when they're coming into this country, because he was welcomed and his family was welcomed with open arms. So don't appoint someone like that and say, hey, I'm reaching out to the Latinos out there, because he doesn't represent us. And clearly he's thinking that he can just, close down a torture center and then we're gonna applaud and think that this is great. Biden has continued the same human rights violation that Trump has, and continued the Trump policies that he said he was gonna get rid of. And I understand the pressure. I understand there's a lot of people coming towards the border seeking help. But just like our involvement in what's going on in the occupied territory in Palestine and what's going on with the Israelis, we need to take accountability for what we're doing that are bringing these people to our border. And also, we need them here. There's a lot, all I hear on Fox News is nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to be exploited anymore. Isn't that weird?
It's a shame, really.
Yeah, we have people that need to fill jobs and there's people that want to work. But we want a scapegoat, so here we got one. Thanks, Mayorkas, for closing down the torture center.
Yes, I agree. We should not applaud necessarily a ton. I would say more, we should not, as clearly Viviana is not, be deceived that this necessarily represents a full change of stance on these issues. But these are bad facilities, so I'll give it this.
Yeah, I hate to be a downer.
Anyway, no, the realism is not a downer.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.